What's up? This is Nick,
And this is Ethan.
and this is MetalSquidTheater.
That it is.
So we'll be starting with his review today. Let's just get straight to the point.
Today I am reviewing an album, the new album by a band I absolutely adore. And this album is Koi no Yokan by Deftones. And a little background on the name of the album. Well, first of all, if you're not familiar with Deftones, they are an alternative metal band. That they started out as kind of a new metalish band, kind of along the lines of Linkin Park, that kind of thing. But
You know, Zach doesn't think Linkin Park's new metal or even metal at all.
I did not.
Oh.
Anyway, so they also had a hint of space rock influence, mostly by bands like Hum, and they took that influence, combined it with their alternative metal sound, and created something that is just, it's atmospheric, it's just absolutely brilliant what they do. And they've been at this for like 15 years, more than 15 years. They've been so long, and they've just kept releasing these amazing albums, and Koi no Yokan is no exception. Now the title of it, it's a Japanese term that we don't have an English equivalent of, but it means the feeling you get when you first meet someone that it's going to be the person that, like your soulmate, basically. It's the feeling you get when you meet your soulmate. And that is a very, very cool term and definition. And the album seems to have somewhat of a theme of love on it. And I like that. I'm a loving guy. And it's just very, very atmospheric and tranquil, like all their other albums, excluding the first one, which was more rapped, but that's beside the point. It also has a lot of songs that are like, they're softer, more melodic and atmospheric side. That's just very relaxing, like Leathers, Rosemary, Romantic Dreams, and then we have songs like Goon Squad, Gauze, and Poltergeist, which are like, they're more heavy songs, more metal infused songs with down-tuned guitars, and they've gone, with the past few albums, they've gone in a more progressive direction, and I really like that because I love progressive music. And of course, Chino Moreno, their vocalist, is one of the greatest vocalists in all of metal, and he continues that on this album. The vocals are absolutely amazing. He has one of the most unique and most soothing voices I've ever heard. And this album is just fantastic. And my favorite track on it, I can't really, this is the first time where I've been able to narrow it down to one track and not just have like standout tracks. And my favorite track on this album is the track Romantic Dreams. It is just absolutely amazing, and I really can't wait to see what the future holds for Deftones, and I hope they have another 20 or so years ahead of them, as they've already spent the past almost 20 years blazing a trail through the metal metal community, and they've really won the hearts of a lot of listeners, and including myself. And I just really love this album. It's excellent. Go check it out. Nick, what are you reviewing?
I got a question for you first. When did they actually form then?
They formed in, I'm not sure, late 80s, early 90s,
So it's been like 20 years already then.
yeah, but their first album came out in 95.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
Alright. Anyways, today I am choosing to review my favorite black metal album. Now, in case you're wondering why we didn't do a favorite black metal albums thing like we did for our death metal videos, it's because, in case you haven't found out by now, him and I, both being huge metalheads, have a very different taste. And if you go into our Facebook page, he actually has a little thing under which kind of describes our taste better, but anyways.
Hey, I like In Full Darkness.
True.
They're black metal.
Yeah. My favorite black metal artist and album, Emperor, number 1. The album I'm reviewing is In the Nightside Eclipse because that's my favorite album by them. It was their first release, and it came out, I think, in the early 90s. But anyways, I used to not really like black metal for the vocals. However, on this, it's very hard to understand them on this because it's a whole lot of like that, yeah, kind of noise. But it sounds great because honestly, I really can't even understand the lyrics unless I look them up. And the album itself is beautiful, and it throws in a lot of sounds in the background, such as like keyboards, where it's got that really fast like guitar and your blast beat drumming, and then it's got this keyboard in the background going, like making a synth noise. I'm not going to try and make that noise. Anyways, so I'm going to start with, the first track on the album is called Into the Infinity of Thoughts, which is a great opening track because it gets straight to the point, straight to the black metal, straight to the blast beating. And the first time I ever listened to this album in its entirety was, I was really pissed at my parents. And I forget what I was on the way to, but I had to take my brother in the car with me. And I was like, alright dude, look, I'm mad, I'm listening to something heavy. So I just hit play. He's sitting there like, oh my god. Hates it. My brother does not like metal like this. And I'm just loving this. It fixed my mood. It's a great album. My favorite song on it, however, is called I Am the Black Wizards, which is, I believe, one of the most popular songs. And again, it's got that keyboard sound in the background with, you know, the blast beat drumming and everything. And then, little did I know until a few days ago, it's got 2 bonus tracks on it. Did I say a few days ago? Few minutes ago, like right before we filmed this.
Yeah.
There's 2 bonus tracks on it that I thought were part of the release, but they're covers of a Merciful Fate song called, wait, one of them is Gypsy and the other one is A Fine Way to Die. I have to look it up. Anyways, I digress. So, anyways, if you're into general black metal, that's probably one of the most general black metal bands. They're later, however, a little history on them. After they recorded this album, 3 of the 4 members, all but the vocalist, were put in jail for something. It couldn't have been murder, because I know black metal bands have done that before, but it was something crazy, and they couldn't release anything until they got out of the jail. So as soon as they were released, they started working on their second album, which is called Anthems of the... They got a lot of weird stuff that's hard to pronounce, but anyways, this is about In the Nightside Eclipse. The cover art of it is beautiful, as well as the music. It's mostly blue with, like, you know, some white for the logo and the moon. It's kind of silvery, and it represents, I think, a castle and a bunch of mountains, showing the Nightside Eclipse. What do you know? Holy shit. So that's basically, I guess, the summary of everything about it. It's my favorite black metal album of all time, and I know him and I tell you guys a lot. Check out this band, check out that band, whatever we happen to be reviewing, but I can mostly assume that if you're watching this, you have some kind of interest in it.
And same with Deftones.
Yeah.
They're pretty popular.
Anyway, they're probably more popular than Emperor.
Yeah.
I just love Emperor. So, I mean, yeah, if you haven't seen it, listen to it, check it out. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. I hope your opinion matches mine, because it's a great album. It is beautiful. Later.
What is the Tylenol?